Hi Flosstube, it's Janet with Janet Jabber. I'm coming at you with episode 30. If you are new to this channel, this is a channel about cross stitch. I hope you like what you see, stick around, like, subscribe, do all the things. If you are coming back, thank you for choosing to spend another day with me. You will notice, if you are a returning visitor, that we have a different location. In the midst of our world right now, my children and my husband are all at home, and I'm actually a day late recording and all the things. So I'm outside. Hopefully my dogs don't bark. If not, I will try to edit that out. Anyway, we're just doing this. So on my, let's jump right in. On my Instagram, I had posted, hey, if you got any questions, post them there. And I got a few questions, and I really enjoyed that. And don't hesitate to ask questions in my comments here too. I go through them usually when life is normal and in a routine. I make sure everything is answered before I record. Today, not so much again, and unfortunately that's the second week in a row, but I will get it caught back up. So I apologize if you had a question, and I'll get to it. But as far as life updates, yes, still here. In the questions for Instagram, one of the questions, and it fits right in this section, is how is my dad and my son? My dad is doing good. He's keeping positive spirits. We have a consult with a radiologist this coming Friday and figure out what direction we're going with his treatment. My son is home with us, which I think that was probably in the last video too. We had his EEG on Monday and wait for those results to follow up and see where we're going with him. He seems to be doing fine. He's a positive little 17-year-old, and he thinks this was a one-time affair. We're just gonna see. We're gonna go and do what we gotta do. So anyway, other than that, an update about myself. I don't believe that I have shared this on my channel before, and about 6 weeks ago I joined Weight Watchers. I feel like it was 6 weeks. Maybe it's just a month. I don't know. I got 2 regular visits in, and then all of a sudden the world turned upside down, and we're doing the Zoom meetings, and that has been different. But the reason I joined Weight Watchers is because I thrive on routine, and that is by far not what I'm doing at all right now. So I am struggling a little bit, but I do believe I will persevere, and we'll get through this and try to, if I can maintain through this, then that would be happy. I would love to lose, but could we just maintain? So anyway, that's an update in regards to me. Another question on my Insta was, what is your favorite comfort food? Which falls into here where I'm talking about. So my actual favorite comfort food is like chicken and dumplings, chicken and noodles, something that just makes my soul feel good. And my nemesis, my dog's coming around. My nemesis is actually homemade cookies of any kind. Whew, I'm a cookie girl. I'm not really a cake or a pie girl. I'm a cookie girl, so it is what it is. So, but you're here for the stitching, so let's jump into that and see where this journey takes us. I have one finish this week, and I'm super happy with it. It is April's Snowflower Diary. This is just on Tea Coffee Dyed Monaco, and it's actually called that. I didn't do the dyeing on this, so I love these little charts. They take about 5 days to stitch, but I enjoy doing them. So that is my only finish for this week. Yesterday, in the delayment of recording a video, I actually whipped out 3 full finishes, so I'm going to share them with you. And they're okay. They're not my best fully finishes, but we'll take them. So Dream by Country Cottage, is it Country Cottage Needleworks, I believe? But it's just a leaner. You've seen me do these before, but there was a massive gap in here, so I threw in some twine. I feel like I need to get like a button or something, or just leave it farmish. I don't know. We'll figure out what I do here, but I am super happy with it. If you remember, a change that I made was I put some beads on here, and the bee right here, its trail is actually made with beads instead of stitches. So that is one. My second one is the Lizzie Kate seasonal smalls, I guess is what you would call it. This is the whole magnet washers. Again, not as perfect as I would like, but hey, a finish is finished for me. Most people don't get all up in my business when they're looking around here, so I just glued some buttons on, put this little pretty lace on. This is a different way for me to do it. I'm happy, and I'm also a person that realizes that there's always room for improvement, and I'll get there, maybe. Finish is finished. So my next one, this is an oldie. I don't even know, I do this to you guys all the time. It does not say when I stitched this. This is, I believe, a Suhilis Designs, and it just felt appropriate to fully finish this. When life hands you lemons, ask for tequila and salt. I've done a little bit of a beverage consulting in the last week or so. Things have came together for me. I don't know if I said it on here. Of course, I am one of them that are at home and unemployed. And it was taken, the state of Indiana does not make it easy for unemployment to push through. So it did yesterday. So that things are moving in the right direction. That's all that matters. So, and I have my husband here to keep me sane of like, this will be fine. We're not going anywhere. We'll be fine. So on to my, oh, wait, I put these questions in. I have a little note to help keep me on track. So I don't know if you just heard the ducks. Another question that came to me was, how much stitching time do you get / have every day? So when I'm not working, which is completely opposite of how this should be probably, when I'm not working and life is not normal, I really only get about 2 to 3 hours a day. When I am working, it is actually probably 4 to 5 hours a day of stitching. Again, kids are in school, husband's at work, we live on a routine, and because of that, I score more stitching time when people are normal. Right now, with my husband being home, he is a yard working fool because we finally have some beautiful weather here, which is good for me. Look, I don't even know if you can tell in this video here, but this girl's getting some sun already from taking these dogs out walking every day, and it really just helps with my spirit. So, hope that answers that question, even though it seems completely backwards that I feel like I should have more stitching time when I'm home and not working, but this is not the case. So, all right, so my whips, what did I work on this week? You guys have seen me stitching on Live Simply for a long time. It is on a 25 count Lugana Heritage, and this is where I am. So that house and the roof are completely stitched. And right over here, it's so hard to do this out here, right over here, I'm starting on that little girl. I got the bottom of her dress, her little shoes, and her dress. If you can see, she's right here. So I've mentioned before, for some reason, I'm doing the big blocks of things on this chart before I move on to the little motifs. Well, for whatever reason, that one's being stitched on 1/1. My next one is my One Nation. We are doing the One Nation Sal. Pop on here, show us what you've got, and join in if you're not. Pull it out, get it started. So this is on a 32 count vintage country mocha, and super excited about this one. Here we are. This week I did Kentucky, and I actually finished like that stripe and my star, and I started doing every once in a while I just started and stopped during a doctor's appointment, but I'll like finish off this blue so that I'm ready for the next few weeks. So that's really how simple I make this project. 1 state, 1 star a week, and it makes it super easy to stay caught up on, and I love seeing the progress. Depending on how long we're out of work, the guys will be excited to see this when we come back. This is probably my most showed off stitching piece with the guys that I work with. So, okay, 2 other pieces that were calling to me this week is Acceptance by Bendy Stitchy. This one is going like slowly but surely. So this is on a 16 count Aida Granite by Bestitch Me Fabric. Again, I've told you I had to draw an arrow so I knew which way is up. As soon as I put the words, I won't have to do that, but I do. So this week I got all the light green done, which I think they like resemble thistles, but so that was calling my name, and super excited to get that out this week. And the last one that was calling my name, and she sure called my name too. This is a Nora Corbett daisy, and it is just stitched on a 28 count antique white Joblin. And this is where I basically did her wings. So I don't have anything else down here on this. I'm still working on the top part, but I put in all that blue on her wings. She is such a joy to work with, and I don't know why this would be for a cross stitch pattern, but it really kind of like certain pieces really soothe my soul, and this one calms me when I get this out. I don't know why. Maybe eventually that'll come to me and it'll be a really cool connection, but I don't know why, but it does. So that is all my whips for this week. So my next question before I jump into the next section were, how many whips do you have, and does having a lot cause me stress? I actually only have 22 whips at this time, which when I counted them, I'm like, really? I kind of felt like I had more. But I think the reason I feel that way is because I have a lot more that are kitted up or planned. I've mentioned on here before, I have 5 new starts planned for the month of May for my Mira Mania, and I will be showing those soon. Again, I will be showing them again soon. And then I had some planned during my planning, like Night Walk Down, Knees High by the 4th of July. I have a Me and My Big Toe planned. I forget the name of it right now. But I feel like I have a lot more than 22 because I have them kitted up and ready to go and planned for this year, but it really doesn't cause me that much stress. When I get stressed out is because I feel like I have too many big ones at one time. So I have to make sure that I sprinkle in little ones. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I actually sprinkle in like little completes every month, like my monthly, like for today, my Snowflower Diary. So that helps me, as long as I'm getting some finishes in there at the same time that I'm dealing with my whips, that it seems to work. And as I mentioned about Daisy, there's certain stitches that I pull out because I need them, if that makes any sense. Like you know, when I'm missing my mom, I concentrate on my Afghan. So there's just different things that I like having the different whips now because of how it helps me through different stages, if that makes any sense at all, hopefully. If not, I'm just rambling. All right, the next section to join into our haul. So I did do some retail therapy, and I'm going to share it with you. This one was kind of done on purpose. So you know I've got my vintage country mocha. I also have, which I haven't stitched on, it came in a haul a couple weeks ago, a vintage stormy night. Well, I was like, surely there's got to be a white one. I found this on 123 Stitch, and it's vintage smoky white Lugana. This is a 25 count. What I would like to know is if this comes in a 32 count Lugana. I don't like stitching on linen. I will, but it's not my go-to. So because of that, this is beautiful. Again, if you've never seen this before, and I don't know that you're going to pick it up out here, I hope you can see some of the variation. But that's a print because on the back side it's solid. So if any of you know that this comes on a 32 count, I don't even know which way to fold this now. If any of you, I'm a hot mess. If any of you know that this is actually comes on a 32 count Lugana, hit me up. Maybe it's just out at 123 now, or maybe I have to go somewhere else for source, and I would do that because I like that color a lot. Another thing from my haul, I know that 2 Martini Stitchers getting ready to start this for Arbor Day, and so is, I believe, is Spunky Jen? If not, I'm misspeaking and I apologize. But I want this and a Forest Grew. I do not have it kitted up, so I won't be starting it in April. I may be able to pull off the DMCs, but I don't know if I would have the fabric. So I'm going to take a look, but because of their influence is why I wanted this. Again, another piece that I know will bring me calm, and that's my trees and my nature. So I don't know why I've put off buying this, but my Nora Corbett's Luna, those pumpkins at the bottom are just everything for me. So that came into my list. This is literally a month late, and I don't know why I hadn't ordered it yet, but St. Patrick's Day Holiday Hoopla. I also didn't care for the Valentine one, so I didn't get it, but I'll probably regret that unless I can like rechart it a little bit. It just wasn't speaking to me. Aaron the Blind Stitcher, who I've not heard any shout outs about lately, so I don't know if he's still doing this, but I bought this to be part of this with him. An elephant Bascornu. I dig my elephants, and I dig my elephants. Gentle giants. They are just gentle giants. So, I got this so that I could do his little Bascornu stitch along. Now moving into a couple pieces of haul that I got that are market releases that I had, I don't know, stalled on. So Hands On Designs, do they call it the Secret Santa? I actually got both of them. So there's that. Hands On Design, maybe some glare, well-rounded. I am all about the series. Anybody that watches me knows that. So there's that. And the last but not least of haul for market releases is the Blue Flower Huckleberry Farm. I never thought of myself much as a sampler, and I've said that before, but this piece, I just dig so much. I'm so excited I have this. All right. Now the last piece of haul that I have to share with you, and this was a splurge, and it was during my most stressful time, and it came up on eBay, and I probably paid too much for it. I don't even remember who I watched. I feel like it was Shirley, the Tranquil Stitcher. I feel like it's your fault that I had to have this. Common Grounds is what I'm speaking of. A Just Nan chart, Common Grounds. I actually remember stopping the video I was watching and taking a picture of my television because this is why. It is this saying alone, and it's we share with all who stitched before and those who follow after. Birds and flowers, peaceful hours, sunshine, tears, and laughter. And when I saw that on that chart, it just was like, yeah, I need this. So this actual chart came with the chart, probably common, the stitching guide. It actually has the material and this. So I told my husband I kept watching it and it would go up and people would get crazy bidding, and this happened to be just to buy it now, and no regrets. No regrets. So we'll see when I can wrap my head around to start this one. It's got to be sooner than later. That's what unicorn pieces are about. So there you go. So that's it for haul. I do not have any mail this week, but I'm going to feed you the last question that I had on my Instagram. So what is your favorite / least favorite finish and whip? So this is like a 4-part question. Thanks, Julie. All right, so my favorite least finish. So my absolute favorite finish, and I have shown this before on here and on, and I didn't bring it out here because I didn't want to take it off the wall, and on my Instagram, but is actually a Mirabilia, Touching the Autumn Sky. It just was my very first Mirabilia piece I ever stitched. It is a redheaded, carefree little girl, and it just literally reminds me of my daughter, and my favorite season of the year is fall. So that hangs in we call it my room here in the house. And my least, I actually joked about this when I was, chuckled about this when I was reading this, and it's probably in my box of finishes, but not fully finishes. So I don't really know what my least favorite one is because I probably just keep ignoring it, if that makes any sense at all. All right, so my whips, my favorite whip at this time and my least favorite whip at this time. I'm going to have to go with Home Sweet Home as my favorite, which is an Owl Forest embroidery kit. Love their fibers. Variegation is so gorgeous. I feel like I almost feel like I honestly need an Owl Forest embroidery in my rotation at all times. Their fibers are amazing. Actually, if I could just buy their fibers, and I would. Maybe I should look into that. Have I said that before? I could be losing my mind. All right, my least favorite, for the love of Pete, I think everyone knows this. It's Noel, Jordan Purvee's Noel. And it was a freebie at Christmas. And it has nothing to do with her chart. It has everything to do with the fabric that I chose to stitch it on. But it's gorgeous. So I don't even have regrets about it. I don't know. The last time I pulled it out, I didn't hate it so much, but normally it's a love-hate thing in regards to that piece. So it is what it is. It's funny how we have pieces like that, I think, to where like, I don't want it to like drudge on forever, but birds are flying. All right, so I'm gonna move on to plans. My plans for this, this is kicking off April, so let's just go over. I have my planner. So here is my April acrostic, and it says sun and shadow is the cue acrostic for this month. So I already have a couple done, even though, what is it? It's only the 8th, but I have a couple done. Not fully whatever, done. S for sun, for the S in the sun is Snowflower Diaries. I already got that stitched and done. The U is going to be You Know These Fairy Tales, Grim Tales. Stitch along that I'm doing from Cloud Factory. The N is New Place to Visit, would be Maps from Hawk Run Hollow. The and symbol, Locks and Keys, which will be a new start from Shepherd's Peddler. Gabby. The S for the word shadow is ABC's Summer, and I'm going to be using My Life with Miss Sassy's conversion, and she actually has some things she changed. I'm going to see if I can pull those off too, because I believe her piece is stunning. And again, go follow her on Instagram because she makes some amazing color changes, and she's here on YouTube, so go find her. She's awesome. My next one, my dog, my German Shepherd is breathing hard, and whew. The H is my holiday stitch, which will be my Christmas list this month from Silver Creek Samplery. A, Acceptance. I already stitched on that. I'll probably pull that out again in the month of April from Bendy Stitchy. The D is Daisy from my Nora Corbett. I will probably pull that out again, even though I've stitched on it once. I cheated. The O, One Nation, I stitch on that every single week, so that was a cheat, but I still do it, so. And the W is going to be Witch on Duty. Is it going to be Witch on Duty? Yeah, it is, even though I have a closer, Halloween one's closer to a finish than that, but I'm pulling out Witch on Duty because it fits in there. So that one is a Waxing Moon Designs, and that finishes out my acrostic. So that one that is what my plans are for this month. So for this next week, my plans would be, of course, I do my daily stitching and kind of see what calls to me. If I have my way, it'll be a different piece every day beyond my daily stitching, just so that I have some variety. Yeah, you know from watching me that I like to have several different pieces that I work on. It's just who I am right now. I have been a monogamous stitcher before, but right now, not so much. We'll see where the journey takes me on whether I become that again or not, but I don't foresee it right now, not with 22 whips. So, I don't know, I feel like, oh, you know what? This morning I even woke up thinking that Cinnamon Stars is calling to me, so that's my stitch for today. I probably will get, Maps of Hawk Run Hollow out, Grim Tales, that's just wanting to get a little, I went and bought some ink for my printer, so I have some charts that I need to print off, a couple that I bought on Etsy and freebies, And yeah, so I may have those to show you next week. I'm not sure if I'll have any new starts, but anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling, so I'm going to cut you loose for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video this week. My dog, Gabby, is drinking dirty water. All right, so love you all. Keep stitching. Enjoy life, and I'm sending you much love. Bye.